Hello everyone, this is Kona, and thank you for tuning in to another video. So who's better, Soldier 76 or McCree? I think that's pretty interesting because before, Soldier's damage wasn't really that great, and so most people I think would pick McCree, but now that Soldier's damage is on par with McCree, it might be a little difficult to choose which one do you play. Now, I'm not saying you have to play this hero because of this reason, because there's a lot of different reasons to choose certain heroes. Things like your team composition, the enemy's team composition, as well as the map that you're playing. What I'm really interested in is exploring the pros and cons of each of these heroes because they sort of fit that mid-range hit scan DPS role. Now, I think the biggest difference between Soldier 76 and McCree is the way that they dish out damage, and it becomes a little bit more obvious when you look at how their ultimates work. Soldier 76 is about consistent, continuous damage, just putting a lot of bullets down range and it hitting people and sort of whittling away at their health. McCree though is more about burst damage, about really taking away a lot of health very quickly before the enemy can really react to it. Now Soldier does have his Helix rocket, his right click to burst people down and finish them off, but that's projectile based, so sometimes it might not hit exactly where you want it to. You have to lead your targets in order to burst them down. You can also go for headshots with both of these heroes to burst people down, and I think this is going to be very effective for Soldier. I mean, it's always been effective for McCree. That's kind of how you play McCree, is just go for headshots and you can burst people down that way. But I think it's going to be especially more effective for Soldier during the early days after his buff, because people will be kind of surprised by this. I think people are sometimes underestimating the damage potential of a Soldier, because before, when you saw a Soldier, you'll be like, oh, he's just going to do a stream of damage to me. It's not going to whittle me down too quickly. I can stay out in the open and fight him for a little bit longer. But now that his damage has been increased, you might be surprised on how fast Soldier can kill you. This might be similar to the way you want to fight McCree. When you get shot by a McCree, usually you're like one more shot away from death, so you try to take cover as quickly as possible. This damage buff also means that Soldier can eat through Reinhardt's shield a little bit quicker, so if you're playing Reinhardt and you're noticing, hey, why is my shield going down so fast, it might be because a Soldier is shooting at you. Now, another reason why you might want to choose Soldier or McCree is the way that their aiming actually works. Soldier is more about tracking aim. It's kind of like Tracer. You just kind of hold your mouse over the target, hold down the mouse button, and just fire away. And so not all of your bullets have to hit, but if some of them hit, at least you're doing something. With McCree, he's more pinpoint accuracy, and if your aim is good, I think McCree is great. But sometimes, if your aim is not that great, it can feel like you're doing nothing. I have definitely had hot and cold days where some days I'm like hitting everything. I'm being accused of hacking, oh, it's great. And then there are some days where I am struggling to hit Reinhardt's shield, if you know what I mean. Now, I think for this reason alone, some people might just choose Soldier 76 over McCree, because it can be very frustrating to play McCree and not land any of your shots. It's much more, I guess, satisfying, and it's just knowing that you're actually contributing to the team if you play Soldier and you're hitting some of your shots. At least you're doing something, right? So that's their DPS, but what about their utility? What else do they bring to the team? Well, Soldier is really about sustain. He has his healing aura thing that he drops down, and you can use it to heal your teammates, and it's especially very powerful when you have an Ana on your team. Just throw an Ana grenade on there, have an AoE healing, and you can heal up a lot of people relatively quickly. Now, McCree has his Flashbang, which is a great stun that can save a lot of lives in certain situations. Let's say there's an enemy Reinhardt on the other team and he charges someone and actually pins someone. If you can stun him before he gets the pin, you can save that person's life. Also, if you hear a Genji start to ultimate, look out for him and see if you can stun him and finish him off. It's great for interrupting that kind of stuff. McCree is also really good at dealing with flankers like Tracer, Genji, and now Sombra. Soldier can sort of deal with flankers, but he's more about dropping his heals and outlasting them in a fight and sort of deterring them from continuing the fight. Sometimes as Soldier you might not be able to finish off flankers, but that's where I think McCree is really good at. He can stun them and hopefully finish them off. I also want to mention their mobility options, because Soldier is really good at sprinting long distances. I mean, he can't sprint short distances to get out of danger and stuff or to get into position, but I think he's really good at, let's say if you die and you respawn, you can get to the front lines a lot quicker than a McCree can. Now, a McCree's role is really good while you're in a fight, because not only does it reload your gun, but it also repositions you very quickly, so during that time you're very hard to hit. Now, even though there are all these technical reasons why you might want to choose one over the other, in the end, it might come down to, well, personal preference. Which one is more fun for you to play? Personally, for me, I find Soldier a very effective hero, but at times he can be a little bit boring. He's really good for just outputting just raw damage, just putting a lot of bullets down there, but the kills sometimes don't feel as satisfying as McCree. This is one of the reasons why when I play Battlefield 1, and by the way, I'm having a lot of fun with Battlefield 1, it's a great game. When I play Battlefield 1, I usually play as the Scout class or the Sniper class using a bolt-action rifle with no scope, with just the iron sights. Now this is probably not the most effective way to play since there's automatic weapons and shotguns that I keep getting killed by, and so I know it's not the best, but it's the most fun for me, and I think that's a good enough reason to choose it, to pick it. Same thing with Overwatch, just pick whichever one you like, especially if you're just playing quick play, right? It's just quick play, just have fun. So those are some of my thoughts about Soldier 76 and McCree. I'm really glad that Soldier got this buff because now we'll see a little bit more Soldier, and now it's not so clear which one to choose, Soldier or McCree, and I think that makes the game a little bit more interesting. So which one do you prefer? Do you like Soldier 76 or McCree? Let me know in the comments below. So I hope you enjoyed this video, thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.